Welcome to EnRich Relationships, a podcast designed to help leaders improve their personal and professional relationships from a father and son team.
We each bring executive corporate experience in both public and private companies, as well as personal experience as brothers, fathers, and sons. I'm Dax Rich.
And I'm Larry Rich, and together we discuss different leadership skills and concepts that will help you at work and at home.
We as human beings have specific needs to satisfy in order to maintain peace and a feeling of security. One of the most basic and important needs we have is to be understood. When we feel like we are not being understood by those around us, we question ourselves, and in some cases even belittle ourselves. The need to be understood helps us as humans to feel a sense of belonging as well as purpose, and as such it is crucial that we do not infringe on that basic need for others.
While that may seem easy enough, consider what happens when two individuals both want to be understood at the same time about different points of view. As the speaker, your goal is to get your point across and help the other person see your point, or in some cases, change and improve. However, the listener may have their own point they need to get across, such as an obstacle they're struggling to overcome, or a concern they have with you. Until we as humans recognize that there are two sides to every story, we cannot begin to effectively service each other's need of being understood.
The reality is that no one can convince another to commit to long-term change by powerful arguments or persuasion alone. In order to effectively create change in another person, we need to be willing to understand them first. By choosing to be humble and focusing our attention and curiosity on the other person, we both show that we care about the individual as well as invite the individual listener to be humble and curious as well. When the listener feels like their point is getting across, they too will be open to hearing the speaker's point of view.
So, how do we go about this process of becoming humble and curious in order to understand one another? Consider one of my favorite acronyms, OIC. The letters OIC stand for open, interested, and curious. OIC applies in multiple ways. Our body language. We aren't crossing our limbs, our face is relaxed, our posture is straight up. Interested means we're leaning ever so slightly to show we're listening. Eye contact is consistent and comfortable. We don't point with our fingers, rather gesture with open palms.
Our thoughts. We focus our mind on what the other person is saying. We avoid all questions such as, what will I say next? Or how can I help them to see that they are wrong? If we have a question about what the other person is saying, we respectfully interrupt and ask for more information instead of accepting a misinterpretation.
Our words. We avoid accusations. Observations are not the same as accusations. It is completely appropriate to say, I noticed, or my perception was, as these show a personal observation. The I language, as opposed to the you language, is what sets observations apart from accusations.
And our questions. As implied in the acronym OIC, we only ask open-ended questions, which invite for discussion. If you are not sure the difference between an open and closed-ended question, ask yourself, what type of answer does the question invite? If the answer is only yes or no, then it's closed-ended. Closed-ended questions are for clarification only, as they do not invite discussion and learning.
We invite you to apply OIC in every conversation you have for the next 24 hours. Whether it's a conversation at work, about a project, a chat with your significant other about dinner plans, or even a chat about how your child's day at school went. Apply OIC in your body language, thoughts, words, and questions. At the end of 24 hours, take note of what you've learned about each person you spoke with. Do you understand them better? Have you enriched your relationship with them? The more we practice this skill, the more second nature it will be for us when we step into a hard conversation. We as humans seek to be understood, so creating an environment for others to be understood breaks down barriers and allows us to have real conversations that reach each other's hearts. Thank you for tuning into today's episode, and be sure to check out our other episodes where we explore additional ways to enrich your relationships at work and with your family.
Before you take off, we invite you to subscribe and share what you liked from this episode with friends, colleagues, and family. Take a moment and share feedback and suggestions with us directly at enrichrelationshipspodcast@gmail.com.
Lasting change comes from enriching your relationships both at work and at home.